Israel has apologised to Turkey over the storming of a Turkish ship 3 years ago, and the two countries have agreed to resume full diplomatic relations. This breakthrough was facilitated by President Obama, who has been visiting the Middle East. Turkey and Israel have been at odds ever since Israeli commandos boarded an aid flotilla when 9 Turkish activists on board were killed.
The end of President Barack Obama's visit to Israel coincided with an historic apology. It was made by the Israeli government to Turkey for the killing of 9 of its citizens during a raid on an aid flotilla to Gaza 3 years ago. The surprise breakthrough rates as a diplomatic success for Obama. In Istanbul, reaction was positive, especially news of Israeli intentions to compensate the families of the 9 victims. Israel has apologized for such an incident for the very first time in world history. This is a major political and diplomatic victory.
These 9 activists were killed in a botched operation in international waters. Now, it came as the American president effectively dragged Benjamin Netanyahu into a porter cabin at Ben Gurion Airport just before he's due to leave the country, and stood over the Israeli Prime Minister as he made that call. In a statement released just after it, the Israelis said Prime Minister Netanyahu apologized to the Turkish people for any errors that could have led to loss of life and agreed to complete the agreement and compensation.
Edward Peck is a former U.S. ambassador who took part in the Gaza aid flotilla in 2010. He says he doubts this apology will make much of a difference in improving relations between Israel and Turkey.
My opinion is that it's not as important a development as the media, certainly here in America, has made of it, because an apology 3 years later is not as willing and forthcoming and as healing as it might have been if it had been done at the time of the incident. So the Turks have had 3 years to simmer and stew about what happened to, I think, 8 Turks and 1 American who were killed on the Mavi Marmara, and I don't think it's going to really make a tremendous amount of difference, except at the upper levels for cosmetic purposes. I don't think it's going to make a great deal of difference. You may recall that in the days of the Cold War, the United States and Soviet Union had relations on a wide range of things, but we didn't like each other, we didn't cooperate on things, and they were often on the edge of armed conflict with them. So I don't predict, and I wish I could, any major changes in the region or in the relations between those two countries, because the basic issues remain untouched, and all you have is this residual animosity and anger that, if that incident had taken place off the coast of Somalia, the world would have called it piracy.